No? I'll presume and take silence as a no. All right. So fine. In case you guys don't have any other questions. Okay. So just a quick round of follow-up. Like, has anyone completed a sprint one already?
Yes, I completed it.
Okay, great. Were you able to give that exam?
Yes, yes.
Passed?
Yep.
Awesome. So how was the level? I mean, was it difficult or is it easy exam?
It was okay. I mean, I think it was easy. Completed.
Okay, great. Great, Akhil. Ramkrishna and Karthik, and we know how about you guys?
Abhishek, I will do today itself.
Every day you say you will do today.
No. Actually, yesterday I have some work with my office.
Okay.
So I
That's
don't
fine.
have time to do that.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine. Please do it. Karthik, how about you?
Abhishek, I will go through it. Abhishek, actually, I have some work.
Okay. So by when you were planning to complete it?
Which one, L1 or a sprint one?
I mean,
L1 was completed, actual exam.
Exam completed? So
Yeah.
certified?
Yeah, certified.
Oh, awesome. Congrats, man. You should have told me, right?
No, yesterday I was on leave, right? I done it on Sunday.
Okay, awesome. So congrats.
We go through sprint one and all those things.
So your sprint one is pending, right? I mean,
yeah, sprint one is pending.
Okay, next you can target that. So, okay, I believe you can do that as well. Just try to do that. Okay, be aligned. That's what I'm always telling you. That's why I'm just following up every day like this. Ramkrishna, how about you?
For me, L1 is completed.
Awesome.
I started with sprint one.
Okay, and when you think that you will be able to complete a sprint one?
I think I need another 2 more days. I think.
Okay.
Due to this heavy schedule.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Thanks, Ramkrishna. So, Venu, your certification is also done, right?
Yes, Abhishek.
Okay, congrats. Awesome. Akhil, your L1 is also done, certification, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, I mean, that's great. Like everyone has already completed their L1 certifications. At the end of it, we all are L1 certified now. And Akhil is on the track. Venu probably will complete the sprint one by today, hopefully. And Ramkrishna, Karthik, when they will complete, that's a question mark. But I hope they will do it in the next couple of days. Okay. Please do that because again, you have to do sprint 2 as well, right? So that's the reason why I'm telling you, manage some time. I know it's a little difficult, but it's better, if you be on the track. All right. So Ramkrishna and Karthik, yesterday you missed one topic, that was time range. You guys got the video?
No, Abhishek, maybe she will send us.
No, still we didn't got the data hub video also.
Okay. So, okay. Time ranges, maybe you can check with Gitanjali on this. She can help. And time ranges is something like, you can watch through yesterday's video, and next topics, other topics will not be correlated. So you will not find any, difficulty as such. And probably you can watch it through when you get that. And there's a wonderful course actually on time range in your, what do you say, learning.anapan.com as well. So you can, just have a quick click over there as well. All right. So today we are going to be having a small round of discussion on the model size a little. Okay. Though we have discussed this in depth as well before as well, we'll just have a little granular look today on this topic. See guys, it's not very important, to be honest, like, at this point of time, you need to be worried much about this model sizing. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if you have some idea, it's always better. Okay. So don't get yourself confused and, don't start thinking initially in a way, like, you have to save space, you have to save space. If you will start thinking like that, probably your development will get impacted at this time. These all things will gradually start coming after, like, some time. So how you can optimize stuff and all. I mean, it's pretty much a straight statement, right? To say, like, until and unless you know that stuffs, how you can optimize. So we are in a learning phase right now, but yeah, obviously the next version would be more to, optimize the stuff, whatever we do. So initial 6 months, focus on your development. This optimization, the best practices and all, these all blah, blah, blah stuff will automatically gradually come with time. So that's how it's going to be. Okay. So coming back, like about the model sizing, if I just talk about any guesses, like, how is your model size is going to be determined? I mean, that's again pretty much you can think of logics. We have already discussed on a few angles. So what do you guys think, like, how you determine your model size?
Based on the cell subject.
Which cells?
What we create in the line items, all those cells.
Okay.
In the module.
Okay. Fair enough. Anything else?
I think that's the key, right? Model, your cell size is black.
And based on the format also, Abhishek.
Okay. Format of the line items, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
And using the type of lists.
Anything else?
No.
3, I just posted in the chat as well. The first one is module cells. I mean, the cells which you create. I mean, the concept of probably the sparsities and all that going to be coming up to optimize here. The format of the line items, and obviously, what was the third one?
Lists,
Yes.
Abhishek.
Okay.
Number lists and subset lists like this.
That is one thing. What could be another? Can there be anything else apart from this? Maybe list property as well, right? I mean, you used format of line items. So format of list properties. It could be one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So these 4 could be main ones. Okay. The rest, if you want to drag the story and the convo, we can, keep on adding, the time ranges, number of future year, number of past year, blah, blah, blah. But the main stuffs, these 4 are going to be obviously your number of cells, your size of lists, and the format of line item or the list properties. So that is main thing, which determines the size of the model. And let me just quickly share my screen. All right, so if I just again discuss a little, I mean, already you guys would have this data or something. So your Boolean consumes 1 byte. I mean, it's not that important for you to remember, but maybe just you can have a quick glance so that maybe sometimes in interviews they ask, though I believe these type of questions shouldn't be asked, but you don't know. So date consumes 4 byte, time period is going to be consuming again 4 bytes. You have something like numbered lists or numbered properties. Those are going to be consuming 8 bytes. And then you have text, that's going to be again consuming 8 bytes. And then you have something like no data. So that's 0 byte. And whatever is the list members, so it's more like 500 bytes. So I'm just posting into the chat as well. So this is how roughly, your cells are calculated Okay, I mean, just a little overview. I mean, you don't need to be very specific on these, but it's always better to know. So that's how, the sizing contributes. I mean, each and every cells, and ultimately, these are again multiplied by a factor to convert it into the GBs which you see. Okay. So that's how, the consumptions of cells happens. And the important point actually to discuss, like why this whole conversation started, was to understand like how you are going to be minimizing the model size. Okay. So for an example, minimizing in turn, you can presume like, optimizing the model in turn. So the first thing first is like, obviously, you should be using the appropriate dimensionality. Okay. So for an instance, I discussed this point in plans and discussing necessary when we were discussing the necessary standards. Like, you should be using only the dimensions which are required, which are necessary. Instead, not putting in any dimension which you think, you can put in. Let's not do in those fashion. Instead, you should be only using the dimensions that are relevant to the data's or maybe things which you want to publish or push or display to the end user. Another thing could be, that's the first point, probably just let me maybe jot it down here. So you should be using appropriate dimension. Now, there could be a scenario. Okay, the scenario could be like the data which you will have. Okay, so it can use some dimension. Okay, but not all. Like, so for example, if you have like 100 data, out of that 50 data could use your product dimension. Others data, other next 50 data could use products by geography dimension. So a better way is like you design two different modules, okay, for this specific purpose. It's not like, you design an entire product by geography module and you store that 100 data, because again, that's related with the concept of sparsity, because unnecessarily you are again wasting that 50 cells which doesn't needs a geography dimension. So recommendation is like, you design or use only specific dimension for a specific set of data. You create separate modules, and that's not a problem. I mean, don't restrict yourself like, in one single module you're trying to do everything. It shouldn't be an idea at all. So if data shares some but not all dimensions, split it into separate modules. I hope you understand this point, what I mean.
Yeah.
Are all dimensions. And obviously, I mean, this is an important interview question, guys. So, just try to understand and remember these as well. How to minimize model size. There could be like, they will say like, either you use minimize, either you use optimize. Okay, whatever you feel, whatever the interviewer feels, they will ask. But it is an important interview questions. At times, they will ask this. So the first one, you mention appropriate dimension. Second one is data share someone. Then obviously this one you can very well remember, like that are header and dividers. You need to format them as no data, right? So remember the concept of no data format. So we discussed that in L1 as well. Like when you are creating headers and dividers, and necessarily you don't need to waste the space. You just maybe use the line items that are having these headers and dividers as no data. And another thing could be, summary, keep it as no data or sorry, it is none actually, if not needed. So if you don't need a summary, just keep it as none. You remember this, right? Summary option in our modules.
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So keep this as none, because ultimately we did saw like, even the presence of summary consumes some sort of, space out there, which, gets wasted. So that is one thing. Another, these are the like most important four ones, and you can very well mention, use of subsets whenever possible. So use subsets whenever possible, and this could be, these five ones could be very common one, which you should at least be telling in interviews. I'm just posting into the chat as well. So at least what I say, it's important. Please, make a note of it. It may be asked. Okay. So apart from that, you guys already know sparse cells are those cells that will not be populated. Okay. Now there was one actually interesting interview question. I mean, it's a very common, I mean, basic one, but at times people tend to, miss that. The interviewer in that interview asked like, like how you're going to be calculating the percentage of sparsity in your model, how you can do that. Sparsity, right? My question is how you can calculate the sparsity in a model. Just think, take your time.
Total cells, probably we can check the total size and then divide it by number of cells. And out of that, we can check which are the filter out, which are the cells which don't have any data.
And how you can filter out that much data?
If there is no data in particular field, like using filter option.
So
zeros or spaces.
So you say manually count one by one. That's what you're telling, right?
No. I mean, if we use, for example, there's a module, and if I use a filter, I'm just guessing.
Okay.
If I
So
filter out here.
So how you will calculate the percentage there? Total minus 0.1.
Yeah, total cells. For example, there are 10 cells, and after filtering, I found out that 5. If the total size is 1 GB, so 1 GB divided by 5, whatever is there, that is.
So do you think like if you put the filters, you will be able to calculate the size separately for filter cells?
No, what I'm saying is, let's say the total size, it will show, right? What is the total number of?
It will show you.
So that is divided by total number of cells, and let's say 100 cells. So whatever number comes. So similarly, if we find out, if I can find out how many are sparsity cells or 50 cells, total size divided by 50 would give the size of
okay.
Only
Can you share your screen and maybe explain us? Maybe if you don't mind. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I was speaking on mute. You have to stop sharing. Yeah. So this is just something I don't know. Maybe this might be a wrong way. So let's take any one. Okay, let's say this is the one, right? Okay, so this is just total cell count, right? 2,893, whatever this is. Okay. Now, if I see total cell count in this is a filtered one where okay, so still here it shows the same count. So my idea was, Abhishek, so for example, this is
I got it, but see, again, the problem will be, that's why I asked you to screen share. See, the problem will be, you will not understand, right, which will have zero cells. I mean, you can't calculate that. Maybe even if you filter that, that's
it
going
will
to still
still
give
show
you the same number.
correct. Okay.
And to do this explicitly, maybe for large modules where you have large number of data, that's not the best justified way. Correct.
Got it. I thought that probably if I filter out, this is where I filtered out everything.
Yeah, I understand. But yeah, obviously that is not the best way. So
got it.
any other way, guys, I mean, which you can think of.
I'm thinking of shit.
So possibly, see, I mean, that's again very, that's, I don't know, this is a tricky question or what, but just think it in a terms like, I mean, so for implementation of saving a sparsity, whatever exercise which you're doing, there is probably, there could be few stuffs like, I mean, you can be creating time ranges. Don't get confused on what time range is, don't worry. So you can create something like time ranges, or maybe you can very well use the subsets. Okay, now for all these activities you do ultimately for the saving of sparsity. So as soon as you do this, suppose the model size is currently 100. Post implementation of these tools or techniques, whatever, post implementation of these techniques, the model size becomes 50. Can you tell the percentage of difference or percentage of sparse cells in your model now?
50.
So what we did, I mean, implementation of the techniques to remove sparsity and post implementation of techniques to remove sparsity, we just observe the module size difference and we just took out the percentage. Right? That's what we did here.
Yeah.
You got it right, pretty straightforward.
Okay.
So you use a subset, for instance, in a module, suppose there's an employee data. So employee data, when you're using in a module, it's like 200 cell count or 200 size that you're getting. And then you use an employee subset that is maybe an active employee. And then you see it's like 75. So you can pretty much presume like 200 minus 75 divided by 100. That's the percentage of sparse cells which are there.
Okay. So it's like if we know that there are sparse cells, so we just have to try to eliminate it by using all that, like using dimensions or subsets, and then we can identify. So there's no straightforward way to identify how many sparse cells are.
No.
But as you said, Abhishek, we can find the percentage of sparsity, right?
Yes.
First, the question was. So
Yes.
for suppose in the module, if there are, or for suppose we have created one line item which contains of 10 cells. Out of that, if there are 5 sparse cells, that means you can say 50%. But as we have 2 lakhs of cells, how we can go through it? And how we can sell that 50% is sparsity, and percentage wise, how we can say that?
Okay. So for removing sparse cell, you do some activity, right?
Yeah, for removal, okay. No, my question was how to calculate this percentage.
calculate the percentage. Okay. The percentage you can only calculate when you have an idea or when you are able to remove that some amount. I mean, explicitly, you can't calculate the percentage until and unless you have a method where you understand you are implementing something, and post implementation of that stuff, the size is getting decreased. That's the only way by which you can calculate. Explicitly, I mean, just by having a glance at the module or something like that is not feasible.
Okay. The percentage, how much?
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So that is how it is. Clear for everyone? Akhil, Venu, Ramkrishna?
Yeah, yes, sir. Clear.
Okay.
So or else, can we just in a use a model like the example that I was showing in okay. Can we just add one line item to something the way you use in Excel, like counting the number of cells which are blank? And see, the whole point I wanted to understand is how do I determine that I find out that there are a lot of sparse cells in the module. Like I can understand by just seeing if I see that there are a lot of zeros, and then I can find it out. But in Anaplan itself, is there a way to find out the sparse cells, like the count? I think we can add one line item which can count the number of cells which are zero or spaces.
If you see a zero value, that doesn't mean that is a sparse cell. Just try to understand this point.
Yeah, that's also correct. Yeah.
Right. I mean, in future it could change. So if you write a formula like that, so like you write if cell value equals to 0, then count else blank, something like that. I mean, okay. So you don't know, right? Today the cell value is 0, or it could be 1. Tomorrow it could create a problem, correct? So, I mean, calculating sparsity, it's more like, it's an idea. Okay. You can't think it in the terms of, defining it. It has to be an idea, thought process, which you need to think of functionally. Then only it will come.
So whole point, we just have to see the module wherever the cell count is large or too much. Then on that particular module, probably you can think of applying all these sparsity rules to ensure that it reduces the size.
Yep.
Okay.
And it is more like, again, just to say, like, if you see a module size, which is a huge one, okay. I mean, it's not necessary that, you can use a sparsity over there or something. Sparsity is more like a functionally, if you think it's a concept, it's a thought, like, by looking at the module or by looking at the way you have designed, you will understand like whether you should be using this or whether you shouldn't be using it. For example, an active employee, the example which we discussed initially for the concept of subset. Now, by looking at the module dimension, no matter if it's 0, non-zero, you will not be able to decide like whether you should be creating something like active employee in this model or not, until and unless you understand things functionally over there. Right?
Okay.
So that is how it works. And those things you can take into count while creating this. So just remember, I mean, what I've bring into the chat, like probably ways to optimize your model. That's an important interview questions that may be asked at times.
And Abhishek, is using number list, will it help? Like we can remove some duplicates also. No, we cannot remove, but will that help in any way?
No. Okay. The concept is different, right, for your numbered list. I mean, its significance is something else. I mean, it's not for the one which you are referring here currently.
Okay.
Just think, I mean, you yourself will understand. I mean, give a thought, give a 1 minute to it, what you said. You'll understand.
Yeah, correct. We are not using to remove the duplicates, but to avoid the duplicates.
Mhm.
And anyway, I think that takes more space also.
Yes.
Yeah, fine.
So till now, like from our discussion, like we can presume, like in sparsity to remove that, you can use maybe something like time ranges. Sorry for the folks who attended yesterday's session. You can use a time range, or you can use subsets. Okay. Others could be. We'll try to discover them if possible. Okay. All right. So with that said, we are almost done with our sprint one topics which were there. Okay, I mean functionally, I mean theoretically as well, there are no other new topics apart from these which we have just discussed. And if you guys find any issues, any questions while completing those exercises or something, do let me know. But it's gonna be again pretty straightforward. It's just you have to play around with saved views and data import, saved view, data import. That's what the entire sprint one is all about, right, Akhil? Or did you find something else apart from this?
No, that's all.
So
Creating the data only.
yeah, so it's mostly related with saved views and all that stuff. So start doing that. That will not take much time. So with that said, if I just move to the yeah.
Yeah, last week I have one question, right, related to action
Okay.
button, how to create a button in that.
Okay.
You remember?
Yeah, I remember. Let me show you that.
Thank you.
In the current workspace which you have, okay, you will not have what is it? The action button. You can't do that. Okay, in the current running workspaces. Unfortunately, the training workspace which you use. Okay. Say okay or not okay.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Okay.
The training version is limited to some actions,
Yeah,
some.
I'll just log into some other workspace which you can where I can show you what exactly you mean.
Okay.
By the way, Ram, why are you behind that button? I'm curious.
No, one of our interview, this one they asked, that's why.
In interview?
Yes. Not like back 2 to 3 months back.
You gave interview 3 months before.
See, simply I completed level 1 and then I got a curiosity, just apply for
Okay.
interview. In that, lot of questions I got and I noted down, but some questions I got in Anapedia, some answers.
Okay, some are still a mystery.
Some are in a mystery only.
Okay, that's fine. Let me share my screen and tell you. So this is another workspace. Okay, this is an organizational workspace. Again, this is on the name of Shri. Let's not get into all those details. So about all of this in the workspace is not my workspace. So maybe just I mean, at least you can have an idea like how these apps all and everything are here. Okay, so what happens, like, you're going to be seeing a separate button that is an action button. Okay, this you can't see in your training workspaces. Okay, so I just dropped it, dragged and dropped here. And I click on configure action. So what options do I see here? When I go on, click on this action. So this will display me the list of actions which are there into this model. Okay. So you have these import countries, these all blah, blah, blah. So suppose you have a process. Okay. There isn't any process defined here. Okay. Suppose there was one process which was more related with load geography. So load geography process will have load countries and other location stuffs. So suppose I just enable maybe load countries here, and I maybe just publish this. Okay. So now once I click here, it asks me, right, select the CSV file to be imported into G2 countries. And now I can very well, import that file. And once I click on import, the file gets imported. So that was what you're looking forward, right? This is a button.
Yes, yes. Apart from in dashboards, can we create in process itself, right?
Can you create it?
The process, like action, that the process is there no? Itself.
See, these buttons could be created for your actions, your process, your imports, whatever, exports, all that.
Okay, got it.
Okay. I don't know why they don't give this in training workspace. They should give you. So see, there are certain exports which you can, if you want to publish, you can publish. So it will work like if an end user has to maybe take a copy of some data, so you can just
in action process. I got through one of the process like import and publish to dashboards like that. It is there in trainings only. Publish to dashboards.
Oh, that is like a primitive one, man. Like in the old dashboard which you use, okay, for that purpose they should.
Okay, like shortcut it is, or
No, do now. Why you hesitate doing that? Click there and see what happens. Nothing will happen. Okay, it's not that system will break or something. Right? You do it. So it's just like the old dashboard which you had. Okay, so there only that button will work. You can ignore that. That's not for our use now.
Okay.
So you got this one, right? Shall I?
Yes, got it.
Just give me a second. So I'll just go and delete this page. Otherwise, this person will be in trouble. Okay, so I just deleted this anyways. So what you were telling was, something over here. Which one you're telling? Hey Ram, you were telling something published to dashboard, right? Where it is?
Yes.
Yeah, click on any process.
Any process.
Yeah, view.
Okay, this one. Yeah, so this is like you will publish on the dashboard, the primitive dashboards here. Okay, so suppose I click on new dashboard. So yeah, it's asking me what should be the dashboard name. So I'll give that, and then it will get published over there. So not required. Don't worry about this. Okay.
Okay.
So these dashboards, are we not using now? I mean, since UX pages are there.
Yeah. But these are obsolete. No one uses this. Okay.
And Abhishek, just one general question. So during the sprint one, right, there's this new formula which came up, time sum. try to sum the entire time. So there was little, when I just wanted to, I understood what exactly needs to be done, but since we didn't knew that formula, or I didn't knew that formula, found it little what needs to be used, try to sum and all that. So I just wanted to ask in general, how do you usually make a decision kind of which formula, because there are a lot of formulas, obviously everybody will not know all the formulas. How do you usually take the decision, okay, this is the formulas that you use, or it just comes by practice?
No. I'll tell you. So what happens, like, there are so many formulas. That's a good valid question again. So there are so many formulas in Anaplan, and the problem is, like, to be honest, like, even I don't know every formula. Okay, no one knows. If someone says that they know all the formulas, all the syntaxes, they are bluffing. So the problem is you can't remember. Like, I mean, we all work on Excel from so long, right? But still, we don't know a lot of things in Excel, how to put it. If we are not very expert into, Excel and all that, maybe even the expert person will miss something. The exact syntax he will not remember. So the point is how it goes. Like, we try to think of maybe how to say. We try to understand the output. Okay, we try to understand the requirement. Suppose there could be a requirement where I may want the addition of past 2 months. For an example, what I mean, I'm just telling you a thought process. Okay. Now, maybe what I tell you is, like, maybe what I want is the addition of these two time periods. Okay. Okay. So now maybe in Q1 FY19, you see 589.7. Okay. As revenue. So I'll tell you what my requirements is. Let me arrange a little more. Okay. So what I want is, there's another line item. Okay. Which shows Q1 data in Q2 and Q2 in Q3 and Q3 in Q4. And that line item will be past quarter data, right? We got it, right? What the line item name will be? Past previous quarter revenue. So previous quarter revenue of Q2 will mean Q1, correct?
Yes.
Now this is the one requirement which I have. So ultimately, what you're trying to do, I mean, you have to push in the values from one cell to another. Now, is it like, if this is like entirely a new requirement, okay, and if I don't know anything, the first step, what I'll do is I'll just Google it out.
That's what I understood.
Or something like this, right? This comes in previous function. Returns the value from the previous period. Okay. I don't know. This is a new formula for me. I mean, I know, but I'm telling you in general how it will be. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so I'll just have a look, returns the value from the previous period. Okay, the syntax, blah, 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 I read. Then I'll just go to an example. Okay, so what I mean, if you will start reading all this story, you know, it will become a little problematic. So first step, try to understand the formula, what it does. Then just come directly to this one, this area, the example. Okay, so they say like, what is it showing month-on-month profit change, net profit minus previous of net profit. So what is net profit? 215770 minus previous of net profit. So net profit is this one minus previous. So here there is now no previous. So this is 215770 minus 0. So this value comes in, right? So another one is what? 221073 minus previous of net profit. So previous of net profit is 221073 minus 215770, right? So this is the value. So it comes. Okay, I understand. My purpose is solved. And what it is, if I use previous function here in this requirement, okay, previous of revenue, so the data will start getting fetched in the way I want. Got it? No? Yes?
Yes, yes. So
Yes.
yeah.
Suppose I want these 2 quarters to be added, these 3 quarters to be added in my upcoming cell. So how to add periods, something. Okay, time and date functions. You can use, okay, I see add months functions, add a number of months to a date, add years. I mean, that's how you have to search initially. Okay, I'll give you a list of formulas which you can or which you should know. Okay, by the end of L2 you will automatically understand as well, and I'll tell you explicitly as well what you need to know, at least when you start working. But I mean, this is how it goes, and there is, to be honest, no shame. I mean, even on a screen share, even if we are sitting with multiple people, we just Google it out. It's not a, you know, like disaster which you shouldn't be doing. You should be knowing everything. No, it isn't like that. You should be knowing certain basics ones. Obviously, I mean, if you search code formula in front of like 10 people, that will be little, you know, question mark. But I mean, if you get a peculiar situation where you don't know, I mean, that's pretty much fine. In an appliance space, everyone does this activity. And that's how, you know, we search it in the probably Anapedia, and we just try to bring it back into our requirement. Now, coming back to your question of time sum. So there was a certain requirement which you had to do, okay,
Yes.
which they gave you. Now you don't know what to put time sum, or I don't know, you don't know any formula like that. The first step will be, you will think and you will Google it out on Anaplan, Anapedia, and then you will just try to incorporate and put in some formulas and see if you're getting the end result. If you're getting, problem solved. It's no rule as such, you should be using this or that. Use whatever suffice your requirement. That's it.
Yeah, that's
If
what
it
I did.
suffice,
I picked it up from Anapedia.
yeah. If it suffice, you do it. If it doesn't suffice, keep on thinking. So what we can do is like maybe the formulas which are there in your L1, L2. Additionally, apart from that, I'll give you 3-4 more formulas. You just remember that formula, and that should be good enough. If anything else comes in, probably 80%, 90% requirement will not come beyond that. If anything else comes in, probably NAPDA is anyway, you can use that. Okay, that's sort of big thing or concern.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Nothing from my end.
No.
Okay. So, so let's park the session for today. Probably we'll start the sprint 2 from tomorrow. Okay. And I believe everyone will complete their sprint 1 by tomorrow. And one just a general note, there will be few formulas which in L2 you will encounter new. Okay. For example, month value you will encounter in a sprint 2. So reason I'm not covering, I'll not cover that. Okay. Until and unless if you ask me to cover it explicitly. Because again, it's more about you need to search and understand that practice of how to incorporate that formula, okay, on your own. If required, if you are still not able to understand, let me know. I'll be happy to take them, but explicitly I mean, implicitly, I will not do that. If you will ask me, then only I'll do for those formulas, because like I mentioned, there are a long list of formulas. You need to understand and build up that habit of, looking and searching in. Then only it will solve the purpose. Otherwise, it will create problems. And that's the way you are going to be doing this, the way I showed you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Okay,
you.
guys, then thanks a lot for your time. Probably we'll catch up tomorrow at the same time, and we'll start from the sprint too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, then.
Thanks.
Bye. Take care.
Yeah.